Hey, it's time for another
Everyday Getaway.
And it's Tuesday, so we're back in the kitchen. And this is Valentine's week, so we're going to make
something fun. We're going to make Sno Ball Brownies. Now, do you remember Hostess had these Sno Ball cupcakes? Well, we found a recipe for Sno Ball Brownies, which absolutely perfect for Valentine's Day, but also Easter coming up. They've got that nice, pretty pink Eastery feel to them. So it might be a treat you want to make for one of those. But we're going to give them a try, and then we're going to taste test what the old Hostess cupcakes taste like against our Sno Ball Brownies.
Hey, so join us in the kitchen.
All right, there's a lot of ingredients, so we're just going to show you the ingredients as we use them. For the first step, we're going to use 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 2/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, and it said if the cocoa powder was lumpy at all that you should go ahead and sift it. Ours was fine, so I didn't. We're going to use 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and again, if you need to sift that, you can. 1/2 cup of dark chocolate chips. And we're going to start with those, and then we'll add some more things in the next step.
Okay, so I'm going to start off mixing the stuff that Tammy just told you about. So I'm just going to mix it all together in this mixing bowl here.
And we will, since there's a lot of ingredients, we will post them in the description, but I'll also put a screen up for each section just to show you what we're putting in each time. So we'll make sure that we have those out for you. And this recipe does not call for using like an electric mixer, so we're just going to do it all by hand.
Okay, the next thing I want to add is a 3/4 teaspoon of our favorite sea salt.
That's cruise sea salt.
Woo-hoo. That's right.
Okay, next up we're going to whisk together the liquid ingredients. So we've got 2 eggs, and I'll just kind of tell you what we have while I'm putting them in. Get those cracked. I should have pre-cracked them. That way you wouldn't have to wait for that. We have 1/2 cup of either vegetable oil or extra virgin olive oil. This is vegetable oil. 2 tablespoons of water. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're supposed to whisk this really well. So that's what we're gonna do. Whisk, 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 whisk.
Beat it like it owes you some money.
Woohoo! All right, the recipe says we're gonna add the dry into the wet. So we're supposed to sprinkle it. I'm just gonna do a couple of spoonfuls at a time, and then we'll stir it, and then we'll keep adding and stirring until it's all mixed together. Might have to go back to the whisk here, we'll see. Check me using 2 hands. I am not a lefty, so that is not comfortable for me. All right, I'll just keep adding until all that's brought together, and then we will move on. I think I'm gonna whisk it up here. I passed over the stirring to Doug. We got all of the dry into the wet, and so he's mixing that up. And while he's finishing that, we have an 8x8 pan, and it says not to use a 9x9, but to make sure you use an 8x8 so that the brownies are not too dry. And we've sprayed it and lined it with parchment, and it suggested that you spray the parchment as well. We preheated the oven to 325, and we're just going to put the mix into this 8x8, not 9x9 pan, and it's going to cook for about 45 minutes.
And your mix is going to be thick, but that's okay.
When you cook it, it says it can take up to 48 minutes. I'm not sure why not 50, but we will keep an eye on it starting at 45. And we're just testing it to make sure that our tester comes out clean. And once we get them all in, we're just spreading them out. With the parchment in here, kind of have to work with the parchment a little bit so that you can get it, the brownie mix, to the edges. And I might go back and trim a little bit of the parchment off. I just made sure that everything was lined well. All right, we'll get this rest of this in here. We'll get ready to go into the oven. So our batter looks yummy. We're gonna put it into the oven and bake little brownies bake. Once they come out, then we'll make the marshmallow coconut topping that goes on a snowball, and we'll try them against one of those old-fashioned snowball cupcakes. They cooked right at 45 minutes, and I went ahead and pulled the brownies out. On top of it, while it's still warm, you're going to spread 7 ounces of marshmallow fluff, and this is 16, so I'm going to go about half of this, and just try to cover the top. Now, Doug does not really like chocolate, and he doesn't really like marshmallow. And this is hot, but it's kind of breaking the brownie, so maybe I should have waited a little bit more. We'll be really gentle with it right there where it's kind of breaking. Whoopsie. All right, we've got that smoothed out pretty well. We're just gonna let that set, and we're gonna make the coconut portion to go on top. And then we'll put that on the marshmallow cream. Last step before eating, we're gonna go in with a cup of coconut. This is sweetened coconut, tablespoon of cornstarch, and 4 to 5 drops of pink food coloring. If you don't have pink, you can probably mix, but we have pink, so that's what I'm going with. It does suggest that you pulse it in a food processor. We're gonna try mixing. If it needs to go in the food processor, we will. But if it doesn't look like it has to, then we won't. Might need a little bit more pink here. Now that I know how to use the color properly, our food processor died, so I'm borrowing from Corbin and Celeste here. All right, so we've got it pulsed, which breaks it down a little bit so it's not so thick. And we're gonna sprinkle on top. It is pretty. You might have to push it into the marshmallow a little bit to get it to stay on top, it says, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna try to cover the whole thing. Give it a little push, push. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. And then when it's all cool, we will taste test against the original Hostess Sno Ball cupcakes. But looks-wise, it's pretty, especially once we cut it. I think we'll be good. All right, we're gonna taste test our Sno Ball Brownies with the original Sno Ball cupcake. So I guess I'll start off with reminding myself what a Sno Ball cake tastes like.
Yeah, because I don't really remember what they taste like.
It tastes like every little Debbie cake with some marshmallow.
I will say that I think ours looks a lot better.
It does.
It's a lot brighter.
Now I think that maybe if we wouldn't have put quite so much pink, it would have matched a little bit better. Ours is definitely darker.
Which looks better, I think.
But, which is pretty.
Okay, let's give these a taste.
All right, let's see if we can. They are messy. All right, messy is the word.
Very messy.
All right, so there's a little inside section. It is a brownie, not the cake, but it is a rich looking chocolate. Well,
it is a really good brownie. It was from scratch. It's a really good brownie. The brownie kind of overtakes the marshmallow taste. I don't really taste a lot of marshmallow.
but it is very pretty and it's very chocolatey. If you like a little bit of messy, the marshmallow fluff is messy. But between the two, I honestly prefer this just because it's fresh.
I do too. Hey, if you give it a try, let us know. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, share this video out, and hit that like button also.
All right, take care of yourself, take care of others, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
The brownie, much better than the original. This is just a ho-ho covered in marshmallow fluff. This is a dessert.
All right, so there you have it. Boom. It's a good one.
Okay, now I'm going to add a 3/4 spoon. No.